The convenience store was nearly empty, save for the quiet hum of the refrigerator units and the flickering neon sign outside casting an eerie blue glow through the windows. The night had settled in, but trouble was brewing. A young man, barely out of his teens, paced near the counter. His fists clenched and unclenched as he stared at the clerk, a tired, middle-aged man who had clearly seen his fair share of rough nights. The punk's face was twisted with frustration, his movements erratic, his voice laced with aggression. "I told you, man, I don't have my ID. Just sell me the damn beer," he snapped, slamming his palm on the counter. The clerk sighed. "Rules are rules, kid. I can't help you." The tension thickened. The young man's jaw tightened, his breathing shallow. He stepped forward, his stance shifting from frustration to something more dangerous. His eyes burned with the kind of anger that needed an outlet, and the clerk, an easy target, was right there. Then the bell above the door jingled. A tall figure walked in, moving with an ease that didn't belong in the rising hostility of the moment. Keanu Reeves. Dressed in his usual understated way, he moved toward the shelves, seemingly unaware of the scene unfolding before him. He grabbed a bottle of water and a protein bar, then turned to the counter, right into the thick of the brewing storm. The young punk's eyes flickered toward him, recognition flashing for just a moment before the anger drowned it out. "What are you looking at?" he spat, shoulders squaring, as he now had a new opponent in sight. Keanu studied him, really looked at him. Not with fear, not with aggression, but with something unexpected. Understanding. "You okay, man?" Keanu asked, his voice calm, steady. The punk scoffed. "Yeah, I'm great. Just trying to get a drink, and this guy's being an ass about it." Keanu glanced at the clerk, then back at the kid. "You having a rough night?" The question wasn't sarcastic. It wasn't condescending. It was real. The kid's mouth opened, then shut. His hands clenched again, but something in Keanu's presence made the tension shift. This wasn't the response he was expecting. Keanu took a step closer, his posture completely relaxed. "I get it. We all have bad nights. But this—" He gestured toward the counter, toward the anger crackling in the air. "This isn't going to help. You know that." The punk swallowed, his bravado flickering. "Yeah? And what would?" Keanu reached into his pocket and pulled out a few crumpled bills. He placed them on the counter. "How about something to eat instead?" The store fell silent. The punk blinked, caught off guard by the sudden act of kindness. The tension that had once filled his body seemed to drain as he looked at the money, then at Keanu. For the first time that night, his shoulders dropped, not in defeat, but in something like realization. The clerk, still wary, exchanged a glance with Keanu, then hesitantly reached for the register. "You want a sandwich or something, kid?" The punk hesitated. Then, with a slow nod, he exhaled. Yeah, all right." Keanu smiled, giving the kid a small pat on the shoulder before turning back to the counter to pay for his own things. "Good choice." The tension dissolved. The moment passed. The punk, now just a kid with a sandwich in his hands, muttered a quiet thanks before walking out the door, the anger that had once fueled him left behind. As Keanu picked up his water, the clerk shook his head with a small chuckle. "Man, you really do that stuff in real life, huh?" Keanu smirked. "Sometimes people just need a different choice." And with that, he walked out into the night.